Alright, so I wanted to do this a little differently this year. I'm not going to do the whole overlay thing, edit the video and all that. I just kind of wanted to just make just a straightforward, just kind of how I started when I started making YouTube videos. Just talking to the camera, no cuts, anything like that. Just gonna go over some stuff. And for visual stuff, I have all like physical for all these albums of the year, and gonna make a follow-up to this after this video. Going over stuff that stuff that didn't come out this year that I liked as well, and like do kind of a 10 album list for that. But I decided to narrow it down to 10 albums this year because it was just a lot less overwhelming that way, and usually wanted to just like stick out and like kind of wrap up everything. I didn't want to get too crazy. But this would be kind of fun. I've got all, like I said, I've got all physicals of this, so that'll be my visual aid for this video. So start here with this album. This would be the number 10 for the year. This is one of the first albums that actually caught my eye this year. This is Dosone and Steel Tip Dove. All Portrait, No Chorus is the name of this album. I had never heard of this artist before. It's on the Backwoods record label, which I've been a big fan of, especially this year. Really dug very deep into Backwoods this year. Really been enjoying a lot of the releases on that, and this one really stood out to me. Like, it came out in January, I believe, and it's the first album of this year that really stood out to me, and still really stands out to me a lot, and I really like it, and I've gone back to it a lot throughout the year. It's very wonky, abstract hip-hop, and as you would expect from the Backwoods. But I feel like this one's like even weirder, and like Dosone is a very interesting rapper. It's a very interesting style, and just like very different like array of vocal styles that he even puts onto this album, and just different sounds. Like you have more like intense songs and some like lighter songs. It's all around just a great album, and I really think this cover fits this album really well, and I really love this album artwork. I've been like pretty obsessed with this album artwork this year too. Like I just really like it. Like I don't know, just like how the face is goes with like this like ambient like kind of clouds in the background, and like these like kind of sticks hanging down. I just really like artwork like that. I think it's really neat. And this LP is really cool as well. It comes with some more wonky artwork in here as well on the inner sleeve, which just like matches the music so well to me, and goes along with it well, and I really enjoy it. And it's cool, like kind of transparent, like tie-dye kind of LP here. So really great album. Really should check it out if you're into abstract hip-hop and stuff. It's definitely flown under the radar. I haven't really heard many people, but I haven't really been that online this year, so I don't really look at stuff like that. But awesome album. A little change of pace for the next album. This year's been a really big metal year for me, and you'll see, like, I mean, metal and hip-hop kind of like are the biggest genres for me that I really love. And I think that was another thing this year. Really kind of like, I've been discovering that for like quite a while now, but like that's those really the ones that stand out to me the most, and just kind of what really captured me when I was younger, and still to this day what still really captures me, and what I love and get the most comfort from music, which is a big thing I look for in music. Not that this next album we looked at as like comforting, but we've got Caustic Wound, Grinding Mechanism of Torment. This is a great just death grind album that I just like got really like hooked on earlier this year. Just like was sucking me in really intensely, and it's just really just fast and just great kind of death metal sound to it as well. And really like the album artwork, really interesting, and it's just a really great, just in your face, like beat down of an album, kind of like just pretty brutal. And I saw them live this year as well. I caught them like at the end of the year. I think the poster for it, like I printed out, like I think it was like up here. They like one with the band Antichrist East Machine. They did as they were touring around. But really enjoyed their sets. I knew all the songs they played. They pretty much played this album in full, and because I've been listening to it so much throughout the year, so it was really cool to see them. And they put on a pretty good show, and didn't go to much live music this year. This one definitely stood out to me. Haven't been too into seeing live stuff here as much. Haven't want to go out and be around people that much, but really great album. If you're into that intense heavy shit, cool tape. It's red. Love red, and really cool little relic here to have. Came out on Profound Lore. Great record label, one I pay attention to quite a lot. So next, got another Backwoods release. So this would be number 8 on my list here. This is Gabe Nandez and Preservation, another rapper I hadn't heard of until this year. That was the thing I really did a lot this year, was I dug deeper into the Backwoods like roster, I guess, Backwoods Studios roster. And Backwoods Studios, I've heard of, if you know, like Billy Woods and that, and Lucid, or like the main guys, and that. So they have Arm & Hammer, of course, which a lot of people, like, if you're into hip hop, you probably know about them. But really, just great abstract and just wonky, jazzy, sometimes groups that are on this record label. Very interesting music comes out of there, and this was one that really stuck out to me as well. And there was just so many great releases on this record label this year. Like, I'm not even, like, almost every release that came out on Backwoods this year I loved. These are the ones that stuck out to me the most, and this is one of them. But yeah, Gabe Nandez and Preservation, Sortilege, I think it's a French word, is the name of the album. And I've been listening to this quite a lot since it came out. I remember I saw the music video for the song. Let me see, think of the name of it real quick. It's the song War, because it has Billy Woods on it. There's a music video that was released around, I think it was before this album was actually released, and that really, like, stuck with me. I really liked the video, and I liked the song. His vocal style kind of somewhat reminds me to an extent of Earl Sweatshirt. That's kind of like the first thing that popped into my mind when I got it, but it's like, honestly, like, even better, I'd say. I really enjoy the, like, deep vocal style, and just like, it just sounds so nice, and some really cool beats, and like, it sounds like very kind of Asian inspired like samples and sounds and stuff on this album. And I've really been going back to this one a lot. Definitely really stands out from this year. Really cool stuff. The and like, speaking of the Asian influence, it seems like kind of like on the cover as well, like the hat that the person's wearing there. It seems very Asian influence, but there's also like French influence. Obviously, the name is French, and he like raps in French on some of the songs and stuff. So it's pretty interesting, cool album, and really like having this on tape as well. I pre-ordered this back in, like, I guess like August or something like that. Cool tape here. Listening to it quite a lot, and yeah. That's number 8 there. Another little change of pace here, a little different than most of the stuff on the list here. I'd say these next 2 albums will be that way. And this one I just made a CDR of, so I wanted to make a combination of things on this. But this is Glare, Sunset Funeral. And if you can't tell by the cover, it's a very great shoegaze album. Very My Bloody Valentine-esque. I've actually been really excited for them to release an album, so I've known about them since 2021, and I was like really excited for them to actually release. They had mostly just released some EPs at that time, And so I was really excited for them. When I found out they were releasing an album this year, I was excited to like finally get a full release from them, and they did not disappoint. I really liked it. I didn't go back to it too much at first, but I ended up really going back to it a lot throughout the summer and stuff. It really matched like the vibes of summertime and being out, and like just like a lot of, I don't know, it just goes along with that. It just makes me, it's how my brain computes the things, like a nice sunny day, like out in the world or something. But I made this compilation CD of it, and because it has their EP they released in 2021. I just kind of put at the end of the album so I could just like kind of do a combination. I really like making little compilation CDs sometimes, and like listen to it in the car. So a lot of the time I like to listen to it in the car. It just kind of like on a nice sunny day matches the just the vibes of the world, I guess. It just goes along with it well. That kind of like fever dream kind of feel that I get from shoegaze music goes along with it well. But just all around great shoegaze album. Some like other kind of 90s alternative stuff mixed in, even some like kind of new metal-esque sounds mixed in with it, with the guitar passages sometimes. But just like a hazy, like distorted, great sounding shoegaze album, and just highly recommend it for anybody who likes My Bloody Valentine or anything like that. Just really stands out to me this year. Really great album artwork. I might get another actual physical of this at some point. We'll see, but I'm happy with making this for myself here. And this next one's along the same lines ish. Kind of like they kind of go together for me, but in different ways. Found out about this band in 2023 when they released their first album, and that's Lathe of Heaven. This is their second full-length album, Aurora. And I honestly think I like this album more than their first album. You know, I still love their first album, but this one is just very consistent. It's just more consistent than the first album, I feel. It's just kind of just banger after banger, just post-punk, banger after banger, amazing sounding stuff. If you're into The Cure or anything in that kind of realm, just you would love this. Have not been able to catch them live yet. I think I would really like to. They usually just play like super late shows, so I'm not really into the super late shows, but really great band. I'd love to see them, especially as my wife really likes them too, and it reminds when I was really listening to them, it was around the same when I first got into them. I was listening to their first album quite a lot around the time that I met my wife, and it was just a very special time to me, and it always reminded me of her. So, and she really enjoys this group as well, so I'm excited to go see them with her sometime when we can get the chance to, if we ever get the chance to. They come to my city quite a few times already, so hopefully they come back and do a little bit earlier of a show sometime. But yeah, just great, just amazing. Just makes me, just brings a lot of great feelings inside of me. It makes me feel just like sad but happy at the same time. Kind of just like makes me emotional feeling. Just the sounds that this album creates is just very beautiful and amazing, and I love it very much. Very cool tape. Got the blue here, and this came out on Sacred Bones, great record label. So yeah, that was my number 6 slot there. And back into the kind of other stuff that you would expect from this video. Like I said, metal and hip-hop and stuff. And this one would be in the metal realm, of course. This is Corpus Offal with their self-titled album, Corpus Offal. I actually did not know about this band. This is their first release. I think they kind of just formed in the past year or so. But this is what is left of the band Cerebral Rot. I know people like Cerebral Rot within the death metal community. They were a great kind of just death metal band, like modern death metal band. That was pretty well respected. They were releasing stuff like late 2010s, early 2020s. But this is their the new project, same vocalist, same a lot of it gets people like same with the lineups and stuff. Some the same people that were on in Cerebral Rot as well. Actually, there's a guy. I think his name is Kyle. There's a guy in the band, the guitarist of this band, is actually the vocalist of Caustic Wound. So it was cool to like find these like matchups, and like the side project of Caustic Wound is this other band. I think it's Mortiferum. I think is the name of that band. But there's so many like more tiffy like bands out there, so I could have gotten that wrong. But it's one of those kind of band, and it's like more like a death doom project. As I would say, this one's kind of has like some doomy aspects to it as well. Especially the last like 12 minutes like epic song on this one. But I did not know about them. I just went to a show earlier this year. My friend invited me to a show that was just a death metal show. I was like, oh yeah, I would go. That was back in like probably like March or something. And Corpus Offal played that show, and I hadn't heard of them, and ended up really liking their set, and ended up getting this after that. And just like especially like throughout like later in the year, I really just like was finding myself going back to this quite a lot, and just one of my favorite death metal releases of the year. And death metal was just such a big thing for me this year in general. I just really been loving tons of death metal. It's going back to a lot of older death metal as well that I didn't get the first time around when I got into it, and just realizing how much comfort I get from the genre, and I just love it so much. It just makes me feel like I am who I am. It's just a part of me, I feel like. But just really enjoy this music, and I liked the like he's like just kind of a different vocal thing going on here, and just like kind of wonkier, kind of just different from like some of your like just straight up death metal. It just has some like more like avant-garde kind of wonkiness to it, I'd say. And yeah, I just remember like the vocals really pulled me in when I was watching them live, and just like it was just really interesting, and I just thought it was a little bit different than some of the other stuff I'd heard, so it kind of pulled me in. And I really like the album artwork. I think it's pretty neat thing going on here. It's like this like all these faces and shit like wrapped around whatever is going on here, spikes and shit. It's just, yeah, it's sick. But in the back here you can see the track list and their little logo there. But happy to have this CD. It's really cool. I actually have a tape of this as well. Ended up getting both. But and you see the inside here has all these like bodily anatomy, like at the cellular level kind of shit is what it reminds me of. But awesome death metal. I've seen people like say that they don't like it as much as Cerebral Rot, but I think I like it more than Cerebral Rot. I love Cerebral Rot too, but this one just really stuck out to me a lot. So that was number 5. So we have entered the number 5 on that one. The top 5 here. Here's number 4. Very well-known band. Find their stuff at most stores, Target and all that shit. It's this and the next one, but it's Ghost, Skeleton. So Ghost was so important to me this year because I hadn't really been paying that much of attention to them in recent years. Like I got into them years ago and really liked their early stuff, but didn't really pay attention to like Impera that released in 2022, or like that much of like Prequel when that came out in like 2018. I just wasn't, I don't know why, I just wasn't liking the more like poppier sound to it, and didn't really appreciate it at the time. But this one really just pulled me back into it, and I really think this might be one of their best yet. It just like grew on me so hard this year, like the kind of like the poppier sound to it, versus their older stuff. Their older stuff was poppy too, but like to a lesser extent, I guess. But really fell in love with this album this year, and it just reminded me of this Ghost. Just brings me such a great comfort. Reminds me of kind of the spookiness to it, and like reminds me of like Halloween time, and I've always loved that time of year. So it was just very special, and just brought a lot of feelings inside me this year, and I really enjoyed listening to this quite a lot, and just helped me fall back in love with Ghost. And this album artwork is fucking incredible, like fucking incredible. Just love it. It's so sick and just intricate and deep and complex, and I just love it. They always kill it with the album artworks, um, especially recently on their recent albums. Just been killing it. But really incredible album. Brings me such a great deal of comfort, and I love it so much, and been really excited to have this and to keep listening to it in the future. Just just great comfort I get from that. And I'd also say this on this next album here, which is a little bit of a change of pace, like to an extent. It's different than the other some of the other things I've talked about in here as well. Another very popular artist, very pop, like known artist, and that is Playboi Carti. And I made another CD here of this, as you can see. The I Am Music, or just music, whatever you want to call it, this year. Um, I was excited when this was coming out. I know people have been waiting for a Playboi Carti album again. Hadn't released in over like almost 5 years, and did not really disappoint on this one. If you like Playboi Carti, you're gonna like this album. And I just Playboi Carti is just like the like trap artist that I love the most. Like Playboi Carti and Yeat are like the ones that like stand out to me the most. I just like I've never been like too huge on like trap in the past, but it's really grown on me, and it's just so fun to me, and I just really get such great enjoyment out of it. It's just so fun. It makes me want to dance around, and I don't know, it's just fun, and it like kind of reminds me of when I was in high school and I would listen to this like the beginnings of trap coming in at like the turn of the 2010s. And I just feel like this one's like somewhat like a little bit different, I guess, because it just I mean, it's still straight up trap, but like he just throws so many different vocal styles in on this album. Like he sounds like he has like the deep one that's like most prevalent on here. Then he has like his old school like sound that he did from like his early stuff, and I just really like the differences in vocals, and just like kind of like it feels like a compilation album, like a mashup of songs. But I like that because it's just fun, and just I like that aspect. And it's I've just gone back to this so much. Like it's been so fun. There's like 4 Kendrick features on this album too, and it's just really fun. It's like 30 songs, like super long, like an hour and 17 minutes long, which was perfect to make this CD because it like fit perfectly on a CD. And I've just been loving it so much. It's been so fun. Like it just pulls me back all the time. I just Playboi Carti's music just does that. Like if I need, like, it just brings me a sense of comfort and just like makes me feel good, and like it's just fun. It just makes me feel happy, and it's just what it is. But I just been really enjoying it. This is one I've just come back to so much this year, and will probably continue to come back to in the future. Just really, just so fun, and brings me so much enjoyment. Um, so yeah, that was number 3. So we reached the top 3 now, and number 2 here, special. We're talking about Backwoods a lot in this video. Obviously, we had 2 other albums from Backwoods, but we have to have the top dogs of Backwoods Studios, and that's Arm & Hammer, which is Billy Woods and Elucid. They're like, it's like the backbone of Backwoods Studios. But this just came out in November, and I actually had pre-ordered this LP when they had announced it, and it didn't come until like the beginning of this month. And it's like crazy that this has jumped up to number 2, but that's just how I'm feeling right now making this video. And I have been loving the shit out of this album. I've been listening to it. I experienced it for the first. I've only been listening to it since I got this on LP. I've listened to it like one time, like digitally, but I experienced it for the first time on LP, and mostly I've listened to it on the LP format, and I've just been enjoying it so much. I hope the glare isn't too bad on this. I can't really tell, but trying to bend it forward a little bit. That's why I've been bending them forward, but The album artwork has like grown on me tremendously from when I first saw it as well, and it really looks so great on this like as it printed out on this format. But I have just been loving this album. I've been listening to it almost every single day for like the whole month. It'll always remind me of this time, I believe. Well, there's just so it's so like I think it might be my favorite Arm & Hammer at this point. Their best yet, I'd say. And this is Arm & Hammer with The Alchemist, which they did an album back in 2021 with The Alchemist called Harem, which was another like one of my favorites of theirs. Um, and that was a big one for me back at that time too. And they also re-released that album with along with when they were releasing this as well. Um, so I've been going back and listening to that one quite a bit as well. But this one is definitely, in my opinion, superior to that album, even though I love that album as well. But just the beats on this album are incredible. Like these these like synthy beats, and just they just killed it on this one. It's just so amazing. Just like the way that Elucid and Billy Wood just bounce off of each other, like go into their verses, and it flows so well. It's just incredible, and they're just amazing artists and amazing. I just I love it so much. It's such incredible stuff. Um, and it's just bringing me great deal of comfort this whole year. Just a great deal of not the whole year, but this past month like has been bringing me just like there's so many sounds on here that just bring such a great comfort to me, and I just feel like it's gonna be a huge album for me, like in going into the future, just one I'm always gonna think back on, and just gonna be bring me a great deal of comfort. And here's the back, just the artwork is really nice and interesting and cool. And I just got the straight up black LP. I wish they had released a gold LP that I found out about the release like very soon after they'd released it or announced it. And the gold like 500 LP one was already sold out. And I was like, oh damn. I might try to get one in the future, like secondhand or something, but I'm sure it's already expensive as hell online. But I'm happy with the one I got, and I've just been listening to the shit out of it and just love it so much, and so much of enjoyment out of this album. I love these guys. I love the record label so much. They're very special, and that's just, I guess that's all I really have to say about it, but really, I love this so much. So, we reached the number 1 slot, which is very different from the number 2 slot, but it's on the same realm, as you probably won't be surprised. So, number 1, I have Pissgrave, Malignant Worthlessness. This is also very different than my number 1 slot last year, which was Charlie XCX pop album. And most of the years it's been like a kind of a poppier album, but this album just like blows me away, like insane, just like takes me to a different place of insanity, like turns me into a different human being. Like, just, I don't know, it's just crazy how this album like makes me feel, and just how crazy and intense it is, and how it just pulled me in so much throughout the whole year. It's released early this year and just kept pulling me back in all year. Like, would listen to it multiple like days in a row, and just takes me away. It's crazy. I had heard of Pissgrave in the past. I've known of them for quite a while and been interested in them, but I've never really gotten too into them. But with the release of this album, I've just been listening to them a lot. I've been listening to their other 2 releases, but this is definitely my favorite. This, like, if this is their final album, they went out with a fucking bang. Like, insanity to me. It's just like, this album is fucking crazy. I even got my fucking wife into this shit, and she's not like that like into like intense shit. But whenever we see like gruesome, brutal shit, like with the album covers, we just say Pissgrave, and like there's just like a whole thing that's going along with it, and it's just like been a 2025 thing, I guess. So it's just like it's a very like 2025 album for me, and it's like I just really, god damn, it's fucking crazy. It's just so intense and just nasty sounding and just gruesome. And there's like the, I guess nobody knows for sure, but the thing is like the trilogy, this is the end of the trilogy. They might never ever do anything again, who knows. They're not very about like talking about anything. There's no lyrics in here that you can know of. um, it's just straight insanity. And all of their albums had 9 albums. All three of the albums had 9 songs on them. So it's like the idea of the 666 kind of thing, and this being the end of the trilogy, which makes sense, and I'd be perfectly fine with that. Because this album will stand hold for a long time for me. But just if you like nasty, disgusting, just like, I guess I just never really like felt that from a lot of like death metal. I guess like there's definitely like that aspect to things, but this is just like straight filthy sounding. And that's the thing when they pulled me into them in like the past. I was like intrigued me with them in the past. It's just that they're just like filthy and nasty, and like their album artwork just like matches the music so well. Like disgusting, like melting, decomposing bodies and shit. Like it just shows you the nastiness of this fucking world, and it very much portrays it through the music. But insane album, has had one of the most profound effects on me out of anything throughout the whole rest of the year. And yeah, Pissgrave, number 1, Malignant Worthlessness. And I like that the tape has like, you can see like the full artwork here. Like you can't really see it on the other formats. It's just it's yeah, nasty, disgusting. Yeah, but it's Pissgrave, that's what it is. Yeah, that's my year-end list, my 2025 albums of the year. Just kind of mixes it up. I had a lot of other albums I was into this year, a lot of metal music especially that I was into this year, but extreme metal, mostly death metal this year, and like backwoods studio-esque, and some trap music was like the thing I was listening to the most this year. I was listening to a lot of older stuff this year, a lot of older metal music especially. I'll kind of get into that more in the next video I'm gonna make, with like my top 10 albums that like didn't come out this year, that like kind of I was listening to the most this year, or like wraps up my year the most. But really enjoyed. It was a great year for music, in my opinion, and just like each year keeps getting more intense for me, which is like loving music and being into music. Just another thing, if you probably saw if you saw any of my other older videos that I released earlier this year, really got into iPods this year. So that's been another thing that's just like taking it up another notch to like just appreciate music, just like so many different ways to listen to music. And yeah, just amazing. Music is fucking amazing. It's probably one of the most important, if not the most important thing to me in the world to me. It just brings me such a great deal of comfort and just feelings, and it helps me escape from the fucked upness of this world, and I just love it so intensely. But my voice is starting to go away here, it seems like. So I'm gonna sign off for the day. So I'll see you guys next time.